guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Wadzi. How are you ladies doing? Before I start this video, I know you're just in awe because this beautiful dress. I got sent this beautiful dress by Silk Mason, and I got sent some other gorgeous pieces. You guys can check out a video I made on TikTok and Instagram all about them. If you want a discount, it's Wadzi12. I'll link this dress below, just because I know people are going to be talking about it. So yeah, but today's video is going to be about Georgina Rodriguez. Recently I watched the Netflix show Soy Georgina. I am Georgina, you know my Spanish. And I know so many of you guys wanted me to do a take on this because I made a TikTok of being like, she fits into one of the tropes I made. So I made a video like a few months ago about the types of women rich men tend to go after. I started to notice after looking at media and reading stories and just like I guess keeping up with celebrities or whatever, that they seem to be a certain type of women that celebrity men go after, and it wasn't just one box. It was like a few different archetypes, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's quite interesting thing to talk about. I feel like people will be interested to know why they tend to go for certain types of women. So yeah, I made that video. I made a series of it on TikTok and it did really well. And one of the archetypes I talked about, Georgina managed to fit into. So yes, this video is basically just like a theory, a lot of it. Like my archetypes, they're based off evidence of what I've seen. I didn't ever give examples of the type of women that fit into the archetypes. But it is also like a theory again, because I don't know, I can't really like prove it to be like facts, but it's based off information and just like things that I find interesting. So yeah, so if you didn't watch that video, be sure to go watch it after this if you want to know all the other types. But I can make this a series and give different women that fit into each archetype. So the archetype that Georgina fits into is the discovery woman. So the archetypes that I have are the successful woman, the discovery woman, the trophy woman, not a trophy wife, and then also I wanted to add like housewife because we just like all know about that one, but we all know that term already. Oh, and the successful woman, if I haven't said that one already. So today I will be talking more about the discovery woman, but first I want to talk about Georgina's background so you guys understand how she fits into the trope. If you guys don't know anything about her background and her history, I absolutely love the reality show, by the way. It's quite a positive reality show. It's something different from other reality TV shows, and it's kind of like an aspirational one. And she seemed like such a sweet, genuine, down-to-earth woman. So yeah, I have some notes like always, and I'm blind like always, and also this dress has no protection, so I hope this is okay. Like what people call chicken cutlets to just help with this situation. This is so classy. Okay, maybe I should wear my glasses for this. I really can't be bothered. So Georgina Rodriguez, she's 28. So when I search up like Georgina and Cristiano Ronaldo, like I saw a picture with her in the ring on. She's not engaged or anything, she's Cristiano Ronaldo's girlfriend. I was like, this girl looks really young. There is no way she could be in her 30s because I think Cristiano is like 37. And in that photo I was like, she looks 22, and I realized this woman is 28 because when I saw her Instagram presence and watched her on the show, I was like, she's quite mature, she seems quite put together, but she looks really young. So she was born on the 27th of January in 1994. I think she's still counted as a Gen Z, which is so crazy to me. Like her life is insane, and you know we see that through the show that she's like seems forever grateful. So she was born in Argentina and grew up in the Spanish city of Jaca, I can't remember how she said it in the show. She comes from very humble beginnings. So George Rodriguez and Ana Maria are her parents. So as a child, Georgina really wanted to, she wanted to be a ballet dancer, but unfortunately her parents couldn't afford that. Again, like I mentioned, she comes from very humble beginnings, so she decided to go into a bit like more modeling. But like she didn't really talk much about modeling, but I keep seeing people say that she went into modeling. So I think one of the like kind of stable careers she decided to go into was fashion, so fashion retail. So after high school she moved to Madrid, and it's so crazy when I hear the story, because she was like, she would travel 5 hours to work. So she really got to where she was by blood, sweat and tears, and she was like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself and stay in this small town that I'm not happy with. I'm gonna go to Madrid and work in Massimo Dutti. Like, I want to work in fashion. I'm going to build my way up. So yeah, so then from there afterwards she went to work for Gucci. She didn't move straight to Madrid. She lived, I think, a few like hours away from Madrid in like some pub or some restaurant, and she was really good at her job. And I think someone who worked there actually was like, I'm going to take you to Madrid with me, and help to get the job at Massimo Dutti, if I'm not mistaken. But having said that though, like, she said she caught literally, was it 8 buses to try and get there. So, you know, I'm trying to emphasize nothing was ever an easy journey for her within her life, and which probably makes sense why she just shows, I'm literally getting choked. Why she literally just shows so much gratitude within the show. It's like she literally won the lottery, and she did say when she was in Jakarta she would literally buy a lottery ticket all the time. So I think this shows how she always had hope and she always had ambition. That's 2 things that have always been a part of Georgina's character and personality. You know, she doesn't seem like the type of person that felt sorry for herself, and she seemed like the type of person where it's like, things are hard but they're gonna get better. And yeah, we really see that. So, you know, like Ronaldo, you know, she was ambitious and did everything to chase her dreams, her goals. How did Cristiano Ronaldo and Georgina meet? So they basically did meet at when Georgina worked at Gucci. So imagine if Georgina hadn't actually decided to push herself and strive herself and push herself outside of the comfort zone, she wouldn't have met the man of her dreams. I feel like so many of us sometimes really want something, but we don't realize that we have to leave our comfort zone to really get the things that we want and get the relationships sometimes and the experiences and the friendships that we want. We might have to step outside something that feels comfortable for us, and you know, Georgina knows everything about that. And again, like, she's so young, so you know, I think she met Cristiano when she was 21, 22, so she was doing all of this moving and stuff like that when at such a young age. So the couple kept their relationship under wraps for the first few months, but only people found out. But once people found out they were dating, football fans started turning up at Georgina's shop. So the bosses feared the fans who were trying to take pictures. You know, it would put off the rich clienteles, and Georgina was dismissed from her job in 2016, just after 8 months. So I think just after 8 months of working at Gucci, she was dismissed. Ronaldo contracts got her another job in Prada in El Corte Inglés, the famous Spanish department store, where she earned about $1,000 a month plus commission. But once again, her relationship cost her a job. Customers kept coming to the shop in the hopes of spotting Ronaldo and begged Georgina for selfies. It wasn't long before the management and Georgina mutually agreed it was best she left and stopped working for good. So yeah, that's what happened when she started meeting Ronaldo. She did say when they were early dating, she would come to work on a bus, and then she would leave in like a Bugatti or like, you know, a nice car. And she would say that people would be like, how are you doing that? Like, you come on a bus and then you leave in like a really fancy expensive car. Like, she was living 2 lives at once basically. So about Ronaldo, so Ronaldo has 3 children, had 3 children before Georgina. So I thought those are all Georgina's kids. They are not. And then Georgina has 1 child of her own with Cristiano, Alana, which they had a year after dating, or like a year after coming out to the public that they're dating at least. So yeah, however, Georgina treats all Cristiano's children like they're her own, and she's currently pregnant with twins, and this is current like day information. So that should give you some background of who Georgina is, what she comes from, and how this has shaped her as a person. And on the show she mentions a lot how your experiences shape you as a person, and also like, you know, the contrast, like she acknowledged the contrast between her and Ronaldo, like their careers, their lives, and how she you know, I'm not going to go into too much because now I want to talk about the discovery woman and who the discovery woman is, and then I want to, while talking about each of them, after, I want to talk about why a man like Ronaldo, why the celeb is interested in a discovery woman. Now, the celeb might not be interested in all the archetypes that I made a video of. You know, they might not be interested in the trophy woman, and there's a reason. It also depends on the celeb, with their personality, their upbringing, on the type of woman they go after. So yes, let's talk about who the discovery woman is. So the discovery woman is an ordinary woman. She wasn't famous, she has no connection, she has no links or like any nepotism or at all. She has none of that. Zero clout, especially in comparison to the celebrity. You know, you might have maybe clout in school, everyone knows you, or everyone in your small town. You know, Georgina said everyone in her town knew her, but like that's a small town. And in the scale of Ronaldo, like literally no one knows her. So this woman is normally not from a major city originally, or at least she didn't grow up in one. She grew up either in small towns or mid-sized towns, and she has huge goals and aspirations which might lead her to traveling into a big town. So she often has to kind of make sacrifices to go chase after her dreams. Things are not kind of just handed to her. She's also normally quite a low-key and sentimental person. So again, even though she's known within her small town, you know, she's not like a huge influencer on Instagram or YouTuber or a socialite. She has a normal page with a normal following. If anything, she might have 2,000 followers at most, and if you're just following people that you know, that is actually quite a lot. So yes, normally her dreams and goals focus around being like being in the arts. So it's normally like a model, an actress, a designer, a dancer, something creative that tends to require a lot of privilege, unfortunately, and wealth to tap into. Well, it's a lot easier to achieve if you have those things. Or if you don't have wealth, you have connections. So this is something that the discovery woman struggles with, because like I said, she has none of that. So yeah, that should explain to you that this woman, her goal, her dreams in life, it's not like, oh, she wants to become a housewife, or obviously a housewife is a real role, but she's normally like a girl boss, a go-getter. You know, I really want to get this. You know, she's not thinking of, oh, you know, I need a partner who can help me get this or whatever. She's focused on reaching things on her own and achieving things on her own, and she never kind of has that mindset of, you know, I need to be reliant on a man or whatever. She is kind of like what people would describe, yeah, as a girl boss, like I mentioned. So in terms of her personality and her traits, she's normally a kind, noble, considerate person, not a clout chaser. She's normally quite independent. Her goal in life isn't necessarily to become famous or to have stupid money, but it actually might, to become like rich and like good at what she's doing is probably like one of the things. Yes, everyone wishes to be rich, but a lot of her like core goals and core beliefs are around starting a family, sharing memories with friends, traveling and having an adventure. She's not afraid to go out of her comfort zone. Yes, she's normally a very down-to-earth person, to be honest. She's not a materialistic person. She's quite down to earth. Don't get me wrong, she does like nice things. Everybody likes nice things. But you know, compared to maybe some people maybe in Hollywood that the celebrity might have seen or might have experienced, she is completely different. I also want to say this one thing. This is the most important thing that this woman is. This woman is conventionally attractive by nature. Natural. She has had no cosmetic procedures. Now, some of the archetypes, the woman would have most likely had cosmetic procedures, and you know, I'm not saying it's bad, it's a good thing, whatever, but I'm just saying, like, you know, this archetype, the discovery woman, doesn't tend to really have to try a lot with her natural beauty or natural appearance. You know, she does always like maybe look put together or try her best to look good, but she doesn't really need to really put that much effort in. She already fits the standard. She fits what Hollywood will look for. However, she doesn't have the tools or resources to tap into Hollywood, but if someone wants to help her, she could definitely go far, because her looks and her beauty is kind of like fitting the beauty standard times 10, and everyone loves a natural beauty where she's already effortlessly and flawlessly looks that way. You know, she didn't have to try, she didn't have to get a nose job, whatever. Everyone wants you to look perfect without putting in any effort, like very unrealistic. So yeah, she fits that standard, from her looks to her body, to yeah, everything. So now I'm going to go into why the celebrity likes her. So in this case, why Cristiano Ronaldo is attracted to a discovery woman trope. So, you know, like I mentioned before, Georgina fits the discovery woman. Everything I've just said fits her. And in this point of the video, I'm going to explain why she fits those. I'm going to explain why she fits those tropes so you guys understand. Belly. Okay, so first of all, she's low-key. I already mentioned this earlier, you know, the celebrity enjoys this because compared to his previous relationships, if he's been in relationships with celebrities, if he's been in relationships with models, it's all over. It feels like you're in a relationship with the world. It's overwhelming. You never feel like you have a break from work. And, you know, it doesn't feel like refreshing when you become a celebrity. No one following you around or paparazzi being around and things being quiet. That's not normal to you anymore. So it's something that's different, being with someone who's low-key and being with someone who's private, because it's no longer like your norm anymore. So that's one of the things that he really does like. And dating someone as well who you know that after you date them, they're not going to go to the press and give them stories and stuff, that's also quite refreshing. Again, if you date another celebrity, if you date a model, sometimes, you know, models are also celebrities, but you don't know what they can do, you don't know what they can go and say to help try and boost or elevate their career. You never really know. Now, of course, someone off the street who you date could also do the same. However, nobody knows that person. You know, nobody knows you, nobody's cares really. Your story is easily going to fizzle out compared to if a well-known celebrity was to bring that story up. Their story is going to be more present in the press, and the press are going to be like, wow, Jennifer Lopez said this about Cristiano Ronaldo, compared to like if I went on a date with Cristiano Ronaldo and then I said something, that's going to fizzle out a lot quicker than if a huge celebrity said something. So that's another thing, it's the privacy element, and it's kind of like you have kind of more control as well in that kind of scenario. So the next thing is she feels untouchable. Oh yeah, so low-key, sorry, like I said, she comes from a small town, so it's not like she comes from a big city where she knows big people, like people who are really popular, people who have a lot of clout, and people that can spread rumors and stuff like that. That's not the case. She comes from Jakarta, like, okay, people can go run to the press, but like it's a lot different than if she came from somewhere like New York, where there could be like loads of stories already written up about her. And again, Georgina wasn't like popular or anything like that in a big town or something like that, or in a big industry yet. She was still trying to build herself up. Second thing is she feels untouchable. So because a woman isn't known in Hollywood, it's kind of like an ego boost at the fact that he discovered a woman that is celebrity worthy. Like, you know, the celebrity knows, like, you know, she's a gorgeous woman and she's so sweet and she's so kind and she's so noble, and she's not famous and she's not a celebrity. Well, that's even a bonus. Like, I feel like I've discovered something, which is why I called her the discovery woman. She isn't touched or tainted by Hollywood. She hasn't been changed by Hollywood. There's so many like gorgeous and pretty girls in Hollywood, but unfortunately sometimes Hollywood changes people, and it can be sometimes hard to find someone who is genuinely down to earth and like thinks the same as you, or isn't just after, I don't know, isn't just after elevating their career or using you or something like that. So to see someone who ticks the boxes of how you want someone to look externally, and you know, she looks like the girls in Hollywood, but she's not like the girls in Hollywood, like not like other girls, that's kind of also like kind of attractive to this type of man. I know sometimes when you're in certain spaces, you begin to have certain types of like requirements. Like for example, I've seen some videos of some girls who live in LA or something like that. I think it was a David Dobrik video. I don't even watch him, but this one time I did. People were like, David was like, oh, one of his friends was like, oh, I got a new car, do you girls want to see? And they were like, yeah, let's see. And they went outside, it was a Range Rover, and they were like, oh, it's just a Range Rover. Stuff like that. Once you get used to that LA culture, you kind of become also hard to impress in some ways, and you kind of take some things for granted, and you live in a bubble, you live in a complete different world. So being able to find a girl that looks like those LA baddies but also is living within the real world and has a real perspective of how life is, because again, Cristiano Ronaldo came from humble beginnings. That might be hard to find in Hollywood, to find someone who's still kept that like their down-to-earth nature. And Georgina says like Cristiano Ronaldo is just like a normal man. That might be hard to find in Hollywood. So the fact that he's able to find someone who fits the physical and also the mental is key, because that element is probably going to be hard to find within Hollywood. Also, she hasn't dated any other celebrities before, so you don't need to worry about that, and you're her first celeb, so all her exes, they're really not gonna come out of, you know, the scenes and be like, they're really embarrassed right now, that their ego is deflated because she's dating a top class footballer. So you really know that you're the creme de la creme, and you're also dating someone who's a creme de la creme who hasn't dated someone yet on your level or on your status. So I guess this one's about more like ego as well. So like I mentioned, she is down to earth. So like I mentioned with some of the people in LA that like I've kind of seen, like this woman isn't demanding of the celebrity. She's grateful for what he provides, but doesn't expect the world from him. She works hard, earns her money, and she expects him to treat her well. She also doesn't go around on social media posting photos all the time, trying to get attention of other celebrities by saying outrageous stuff. What I'm trying to say is she doesn't act like someone she's not around the celebrity. Again, I've seen so many videos of so many Instagram models with David Dobrik, and the way they're acting is completely different, completely out of character. I don't know if it's the LA water or influencer water in LA or something that does something to people. Remember that woman that flipping scammed many influencers to say that she dated, because she said she dated Jack Harlow, and they all wanted to go to Jack Harlow's party. Like, it's that type of mental work that happens to you sometimes when you move to these places. You begin to change and you begin to chase clout like there's no tomorrow, because you just feed off everyone else's energy. Everyone else wants clout, everyone else wants to be big, everyone else wants more money, a bigger car and stuff like that. Georgina comes from humble beginnings and she hasn't seen any of that. So again, for Cristiano Ronaldo, it's so refreshing to meet someone who is the complete opposite, and is working on their goals and working on their dreams. And also, you know, Georgina laughs at the situation that she would catch a bus to work and then get picked up in a Bugatti. She laughs at that. I know for sure if that was someone else, maybe like an influencer in LA or something, I don't know why I'm pointing influencers in LA, but it's just the only example I have. But you guys know what I mean. I know for sure some people will be like, well, you should order me an Uber to work. How can you pick me up in a Bugatti when I got here in a bus? Like, you need to, what is that? Like, you need to get me a car to work, because that's embarrassing. Like, some people might have that entitlement, and don't get me wrong, there are men that will do that for you. It's not bad if that's what you want, but again, the type of man that maybe would date a discovery woman doesn't want a woman that's like that. So that's just not your match if you want that. And also, you also have to think, sometimes a guy who does those extravagant, outlandish things, you're also gonna have to pay in your own way. Like, he wants something from you, you want something from him, so it goes both ways. So if he is giving you a lot of these things, like getting you a nice car to work and then picking you up, he might be quite high maintenance, and he might expect kind of like the same treatment in reverse if you don't mind doing that. Now, Ronaldo, he seems quite chill, I guess. Chill, yeah. If he's letting her just catch the bus to work, so that's a pro, that he's chill and he's not high maintenance, you know. But yeah, for him, that must have also been a breath of fresh air, kind of knowing that, you know, she's not complaining about this thing. maybe she's not after my money as well. I think for someone who has like so much money, that's probably like the one thing, is I don't know if this person loves me for me or loves me for my bag. And there's sometimes telltale signs, and sometimes when you come from a place of entitlement, it might rub someone the wrong way. But it always depends on who you're speaking to. Again, there are gonna be guys that if they're picking you up in a Bugatti, they're gonna get a Range Rover or like a Mercedes to Uber X to drive you to work because they don't want you to catch the bus, and that's great. But you also need to remember that, like, again, there's no such thing as a free lunch, and what are you doing in return? Because there is always something that you're gonna have to do in return, and are you willing to do that? So yeah, so again, make sure you meet your match. So because I am going to talk about, like, can anyone be the discovery woman in this video? Maybe I'll just touch on it. So yeah, that was she's down to earth. Again, she's naturally pretty. This is the next one, number 4. So, you know, we live in a age where plastic surgery is popularized, and if you're a man, a lot of men, if you're a male celebrity, you know, it's probably common that all of your exes had something done, and it's what you're used to seeing. So I think the appeal, I don't know if you guys realize, but so many guys have this thing of where they want like a natural looking girl, but you have to be natural and still be my type. And if you're natural, you might not exactly fit into someone's type completely. Do you know what I mean? So I think the fact that Georgina is kind of just like a natural beauty is something that also fascinates Ronaldo a lot, especially, you know, any man really that goes after the discovery women. They're fascinated by natural beauty. It's something different from the life that they have, and I really think that this is what this man likes, why the celeb likes the discovery woman. She is something different to what's in his environment currently, because his environment is normally very over exaggerated. Everything's over exaggerated, the lifestyle, the looks, everything. So it's nice to have something different. Okay, so the last thing is definitely her mindset. So Georgina has such a positive mindset. She's very goal driven, a hard worker. She doesn't let hardship stop her, like we've seen. So this is important for the celebrity because he most likely would need a support system around him. So if she doesn't have this, she'll most likely be a short-term girlfriend or a one-night stand, in comparison to being a long-term girlfriend, potentially a wife. So I think the whole mindset thing really seeps into also like what are your boundaries, your self-worth as well, the type of mindset you have. Yeah, and this really determines how long I feel like your relationship is gonna last, depending on the type of things that like you require. So normally the discovery woman, like again I mentioned in my last video of the discovery woman, because the discovery woman fits the mold of what society and Eurocentric beauty standards want, normally she gets so big and she's so popular and she's so loved by the public and everything, again because she is the perfect like kind of role model and what we look for in what we want to see in celebrities, because she's so genuine, because she's so down to earth, because she's so naturally pretty, and she has such a positive mindset and she fits the standards, and she's low-key, she feels relatable, she feels just like us. This woman is able to gain fame after dating the celebrity, really and truly. She doesn't even need to stay with the celebrity. But again, it depends on your mindset and your main long-term goals. Like I mentioned, Georgina wants to be a long-term like she wants to be a wife, she wants to have a family and stuff like that. A lot of these discovery women, because a lot of them are under 25, can I just say that's when they normally meet the celebrity, that's not their main goal and priority, and normally the celebrity that also isn't their main goal and priority because they're quite young. But I think Georgina's mindset is slightly different because she wants something more long term, so which is why I can see her being the anomaly of the discovery women, and Georgina and Cristiano dating for longer than just like a little fling, because they've dated for 6 years. So yeah, her desirability, what makes her 100% desirable, I'd say the first thing obviously is going to be her looks. That's always going to be the main thing. So I want to talk about Georgina's fashion, I want to talk about Georgina's style and what we can learn from it in a future video. So if that's what you guys would like to see, be sure to comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this video. Is it helpful? Is it confusing? Be sure to follow, be sure to subscribe, and I should see you guys next week.